Hey, Danica, how are you? Welcome back, hon. We missed you leading off the spot. I know you've been here, but we missed you leading off. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Hey, Linda, what's going on? How are you? Linda's making me interstatal. Here we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Angie's Angles. It is March the 14th in the year of my Lord 2024. Lion Woman, wahoo! Terry, I'm sorry. Danica popped up first. Look at the screen. Yeah, it might have been a tie, Terry, but I got to give it to Danica for the first on the screen. Lonnie, you're making me duo interstatal. What's on? What's going on, Johnny? Down up from Smoke Therapy Lobby, 215, Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. We got a hot show tonight. Allow me to light my cigar. Oh, Danny Speedster Gagliano's in the house. Wow, Danica, whatever you did to make Danny come on, I appreciate you. What's up, Danny? What's going on? So let's do a little housekeeping. Danny's Road to the Show brought to you by Baseball. We're back, baby. DomScholarBaseball.com. Hey, Jeannie, I am quadruple. Interstate Scott Tobias back in the house. What's going on? So Danny's Road to the Show brought to you by DomScholarBaseball.com. The Longwood Lions is holding their week-long tryouts for the varsity baseball team at Longwood High School. Danny's doing his best to show why he should be picked to the team. Humbly, I think he's got a pretty good shot. He was all league last year, and if he can replicate that, he'll be all right. Hey, Nick, what's going on? Nick's telling me Mets are interested in you with J.D. Davis, but I want Martinez. Yeah, me too, Nick. I don't want – take it easy, Lonnie, with the JB. Get out of here. Yeah, I don't want J.D. Davis. We've had it. We've tried it, and we spit it out, Nick, if you know what I mean. Hey, Clark, I am quintuple interstatal. So Danny comes home from school yesterday and tells me, he tried to first tell me he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, and I don't buy into the heart attack diatribe of one Danny Gagliano. I go, all right, Dan, how'd you really do? Well, I went 2 for 3, Dad. I go, when you got on base, what happened? Well, I stole second, Dad. I stole third, Dad. And I stole home on the pitch, Dad. It wasn't a pass ball. It wasn't a wild pitch. Flat out steal. I was safe, and the coaches were pretty impressed. So, Danny, showing off those legs. Good for you, Dan. Many more to come, I hope. And Danny, I guess I'm going to break it here. And Linda said congratulations to you. So some of my friends know this already, but Danny has signed with St. Joe's. He's committed to St. Joe's in Patchogue. He's going to study accounting, and he's also going to play for the Golden Eagles under Coach Caputos and Ashatino. So, Danny, good things ahead for you, my friend. We love you, Dan, and we hope, Clark, he's learned how to yank my chain for sure, but I don't buy into it anymore. But don't worry, Clark. I get Danny back. Ask Danny who's standing in doorways and dark hallways. Danny's very squeamish with the occult, if you know what I mean. So good luck to all the boys trying out for Longwood baseball. And remember this. Hey, Mike, how are you? I am St. Tuple interstatal, baby. So just remember this, ball players. Just because you're cut, just because you don't make the team doesn't mean you're any less of a ball player. Pick up your pants and show them what they missed out, whether you're taking that into college, whether if you're a junior, you try out next year. Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough. And if one Michael Jordan listened to his high school basketball coach, we would have never heard of one Michael Jordan. So stick that in your feather. Anyways, we are 2 weeks officially out from Major League Baseball, the Mets against the Brewers, and what a difference some time makes, right? Because this could have been an iconic opening day, and the Mets are 41-21, I believe. Nick Troyell, check me on that. 41-21 in the history of opening days, New York Mets. We're uncannily good. We're amazingly good opening day. And then, unfortunately, the rest of the season doesn't pan out most years. Harold, I am septuple interstatal, baby. Thank you, guys. We are in double digits. Last week's podcast garnered 532 views. Remember, I was Inter Continental with my cousin Jenn Pie. That was a phenomenal treat. We're gonna see what happens tonight. I gotta make sure I keep up with the James Krause is in the house. What's going on? Yeah, I know, Clark. What are you gonna do? 41-21 for our beloved Metsies. So, hey, Tom.
Hey.
What's going on, brother? So we are 2 weeks. So I was going on that tangent that David Stearns thought he had Craig Counsell in his back pocket, that Craig Counsell was going to be the new manager of the New York Mets. That's why they preemptively fired Buck Showalter, because, hey, I am octuple interstatal. I am 8 times in the statal. What's going on? Anyway, so Craig Counsell spit in the faces of the Mets and David Stearns and says, Lisa, what's going on? Thanks for signing on, Lisa. I appreciate you. Lisa, a good friend from Adelphi University. So instead we have Carlos somewhere under the Mendoza line managing our beloved Mets. I don't get the infatuation with the Skankies. Oh my God, right, Clark? And then he picked up his panties and he went to, well, I can't, Harold, out of due respect, I can't say what Clark just said. So he went to the Cubbies, and we'll see what that brings one Craig Counsell. So in honor, tonight, March 12th, was one of my iconic Met idols, I suppose, if you will. Oh my God, I did it again. I am Inter Continental Broadcast, dialing in from the Philippines. I am coast to coast, west to east, north to south. Angie's Angles has you covered, baby. Oh, Brett, I love you. It's 8:37 over in the Philippines. My friend Brett, we're broadcasting live. What town are you in, Brett? I appreciate you, my friend. You promised. You delivered. I love you, kid. Thank you so much. And Brett Milletta and I, believe it or not, thank you. Donna, thank you very much. Mustafa in Mustafa Walk-In Barbershop. Best haircut in the world. Brett Milletta's in Cebu, if I'm pronouncing that right. Lisa, that's too funny. I got too much energy. Oh, my God. I love it. You guys are blowing me up tonight. This is the second Angie's Angles podcast that has gone Inter Continental. Tell me who else is doing that. What other podcast is broadcasting over the seas? If you know what I mean. So anyway, I'm going to bring up, it was Darryl Strawberry's birthday, March 12th. He's one of my iconic idols on the New York Mets. I've told you the story that me and Darryl, we struck up a friendship back in the day. Sadly enough, and he's okay. Thank God he's recovering. But Darryl suffered a heart attack on his birthday at the ripe old age of 62, if you could believe it. And in today's honor, can you see it? I'm turning it around for you. I'm wearing the man's jersey. I'm wearing Strawberry tonight in honor of Darryl. Darryl, by chance, if you get this podcast, I'm going to send it to you after the podcast. We're sending our prayers. You're on our prayer circle, Darryl. Darryl has become a very, very strong religious man. He's found God. Him and his wife, they preach, they do sermons, and he definitely does a great job. Hey, Clock, I appreciate you. I am back to 110%, if you know what I mean. All right, so we're at the 8:40 mark, and now I'm going to start talking about something that might be a little sacrilegious, if you will. Hey, Clark, you remember when the straw man hit it off the clock in St. Louis, baby? Oh, my God. I think they never fixed that clock again. I think it was broken forever. Anyway, yeah, that's right. Yes, Nick. Daryl's going to have Daryl Day at Citi Field, and that's going to be jam-packed. Yeah, I'm sorry, Clark. I know, it's very funny. You can't forget that one. So, I'm in a lot of baseball pages on Facebook, a lot. I get into these arguments, I get into these deep discussions, and anybody that might have been following me and one Joe Alberti on the politics scene this week, you were in for a thrill. Oh my God, Joe is so myopic. This is Joe. This is the world according to Joe Alberti right here. Nothing left and nothing right, just dead center. That's all he sees is what he reads off of CNN, the banner, the ticker. All right, Joe, I'm only busting your chops, but I love busting yours, that's for sure. Anyway, a question was posed today in one of these Facebook pages. If Mike Trout retires today, does he get into the Hall of Fame? And of course, how could I sit there in front of my keyboard and not utter a response? And I'm sure this is not going to shock any of you. But if Mike Trout, God forbid, can't play no more, retires today on the dime, 0 chance he's elected into the Hall of Fame. A big, fat 0. No way. He's got 264 home runs. He's got 954 RBIs. He's below. He don't even have 300 home runs, and he doesn't have 1,000 RBIs. Now, granted, he had a 4-year streak, perhaps 4 years, where he was phenomenal. But as we all know, 4 years don't make a career. Talk to Don Mattingly about that, my skanky friends. So, and I really do believe that Mike Trout is done. He'll be lucky to hit 350. Right, Clark? What has he? He's really done nothing. And okay, sure, he's won X amount of Gold Gloves. He was MVP 4 years. Okay. But that doesn't speak volumes of him. It speaks volumes of who was competing against him in those seasons. Yeah, Sandy Koufax Brett is an anomaly. For those 6 or 7 years, perhaps I think it was 6 years, he was untouchable. But people often forget about Sandy Koufax. The mound was 5 inches higher back in his day. Put a Tom Seaver on that mound. Put a Bob Gibson on that mound. Put this guy on that mound, that guy on this mound. Oh my God, Dwight Gooden on a 5-inch higher mound. That 12-6 curveball would have been like north to south. You wouldn't have been able to gauge the spin on that curveball, for God's sakes. So, Mike Trout, in this humble guy's opinion, on Angie's angles, he doesn't make the Hall of Fame. Now, of course, he's going to get in. And he's going to get in because he's popular. He sells merchandise. He's this, he's that, but he's not, number-wise, qualified for the Hall of Fame. All right, Clark. Bob was on that mound. Okay, thank you. Wasn't that the last year, Clark? I'm not sure when they went. I don't recall when they flattened the mound. Yeah, with a 1.12 ERA. I mean, that's phenomenal, right? I thought they changed. I thought, you know what? I think right. I think it might have been the 70s that they reduced the mound. So you might be right, Clark. I'm going to have to look into that. Thank you for that correction. But you get the point. The mound was much higher. And if a mound's higher and you're throwing downward, you got more torque. You got more physics involved. Oh, in 69. Okay, so so they dropped it in 69. Thank you, Clark, for that history lesson. I appreciate you. So we're looking at Mike Trout's numbers, and a 162 game average for one Mike Trout in his, I believe it's his 13 years of baseball currently. He's a 40, I believe it was 41-10 guy. Pete Alonso in 5 years, and mind you, one of those years was a half year. One of those years was a COVID year. Okay. Alonso's 45-118 in the 5 years compared to the 13 that Trout has. So let's, hey, Brandon, I am 9 times interstate. I don't even know what 9 is. Oh, my good. Love to Hannah and the kids, Brandon. We love you, buddy. So I am 10 times interstate with Brandon signing on. So we were talking about one Mike Trout. And Brandon, we're talking about Mike Trout, how if he retires today, if I'm a Baseball Writers Association of America voter, Mike Trout does not get my vote. He doesn't have enough seasons to qualify for the Hall of Fame, nor the numbers. The guy's got 264 home runs. He don't even have 300 in 13 years. I mean, that's almost mind-boggling to think of it. And if you say that, I mean, Jeff Kent's got more home runs than Mike Trout. Now, granted, Jeff Kent, I believe it was 17 years that he played, but you say Jeff Kent. But I bet if you take the 13 years, Kent's probably very close to Trout's numbers in RBIs, in home runs, and Kent had 500 doubles. Think about that, 500. So anyways, that's my little diatribe on Mike Trout. And the funny thing is, I wasn't out there on the branch. It was kind of almost 50-50. Yay and nay with the Mike Trout. So I wasn't like, I wasn't going out on a, that's funny, Brett. Brett's telling me, let me put that on the big screen for you, Brett. Brett said Jeff Kent wouldn't dress as a rookie, so no Hall of Fame. Oh, that's funny. Brandon's telling me Andrew Jones was better than Trout in the first 10 seasons, and no one went nuts over him. I agree with you. Yeah, you know, Trout is this homegrown kid from New Jersey. Well, not homegrown. He plays in L.A., but, this big dynamic guy, this big personality, the face of the show, etc., etc. Kevin Elliott spewing some obscure stats that I'm not really following, but that's okay. So the 368 homers, who is that? Jeff Kent, right, Kev? Because that's not Mike Trout, that's for sure. I got to light up this. So tonight I'm smoking Leaf by Oscar. And it's very interesting. I should have not unwound it. So the cigar comes wrapped in a raw tobacco leaf. And you have to peel it away to expose the cigar. Very, very interesting. Very, very good. No, Trout doesn't have 368 home runs. I think you're crazy, Kev. Not according to Baseball Reference. And let me see if I can't pull that up. I'm sorry. Kev might be correcting me. But I'm pretty sure I looked. Give me a second. We're going to go to the videotape. And if I stand corrected, I stand corrected. And I do. I apologize. You're right, Kevin. You're right. He's got 368 home runs. My bad. That's terrible of me. I don't know where I got my number, and I apologize for that. But I am not one to be 368. He's got, but Kevin, by the time he's done, I think he's done now. And thank you for that correction, that autocorrect, Kev. I appreciate you. But Trout's done. He's not going to be productive anymore. Okay, on base percentage of 412, we got it, Kev. Thank you, but he's now Hall of Fame. Next question. Yeah, Nick Severino looks like his old self. Yeah, his old self as a skanky, but they decided to trade him anyway or let him walk. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced on one Luis Severino. So we're at the 8:49 mark. Let's do this because obviously it's never a good time to do it because I don't like that we have to do it, but it's powerful and it's helped some people so far. So let's do this. Harold, we're praying for Dawn Squared, your wife and co-worker, and your friend Ed as he battles his concerns. Scott Tobias, your wife and mom remain in our prayers as always. Linda Stein, we're praying for your dad as he takes each day. Mark Brooks, we pray for your dad and yourself, and it sounds like yourself is getting a little bit better. So amen to that. Kevin Elliott, we're praying for your health issues, and we're praying that you stop with your stats on my podcast. Just kidding. That was a little joke, Kev. Krause family, we're praying for you all. We're praying for Aubrey to remain in remission. We're praying, James, that you get better, and I'm assuming JD's all right. Martha, my co-worker, as she continues to heal from her surgeries. Clark, my friend, we're praying for your brother-in-law Brad and your sister and his wife Trisha as they battle and face their health challenges. Deb and Lee down in Maryland, we're praying for you guys. My friend here, Fred, at the Cigar Lounge, rotator cuff surgery, we're praying that goes well. James, you can tell him all about that, I'd imagine. Ray Capers, my friend in public safety at Adelphi, we're praying for your continued recovery. Coach Courtney's asked me to include his brother-in-law Calvin and his sister Pat in our prayers. My good friend Big John, we're praying for his friend Irene. Mr. McGowan, as always, we have your back as you battle that nasty C word, my friend. And a good high school friend of mine, Marianne Bello, we're praying for her mom as she's addressing some health challenges in her world. So Marianne, Christine, we're sending prayers out to you guys in Las Vegas. And of course, we're praying, give me 1 second, Nick. We're praying for Dallas Strawberry as he recovers from his heart attack, and he seems to be in good care. So, Nick, I'm sorry to hear that. We're going to put this on the big screen so everybody could share. His uncle Bardwell lost his battle with prostate cancer, passed away today, and lived in North Carolina. Nick hadn't seen him in a long time. Nick, we're going to include your uncle here and the Triano family. We're sorry to hear of his passing, Nick. And don't beat yourself up about not seeing him. We had the COVID to deal with. You in college, there was a lot of time in between and a lot of mileage. So I'm sure he knows you were there in his heart, my friend. So as always, I do appreciate everybody's contribution to the Angie's Angles prayer circle. Again, kudos to Linda and my cousin Jeannie for giving me the push to add it to my podcast. I think it's very, very powerful. I think it's important that we can't forget. And let's throw one more prayer. Let's pray for all of us, right? Thank God that we're healthy. Thank God that we're, hopefully we all have jobs and a roof over our head. And that's something to be appreciative and prayerful for. So let's throw that onto the board. Yeah, Nick, that suffering sucks. For sure. Nobody wants to see their loved ones suffer. So I could totally, I could speak from watching my mom pass away from COPD, stage 4 COPD. Sadly enough, there were days that she had to choose between breathing and eating, and watching her make those choices as a vibrant, strong person that I am, that I was healthy, and there was nothing I could do for my mom. So, yeah, I understand the pain, and I understand that. So we'll send our love and prayers out to you. So next week will be 1 week out of opening day, and I'm already compiling my Angie's Angles forecast of where the teams are going to fall. I'm only going to do the National League. I'm only a National League guy for the most part. Brett Milletta, I love you too, brother. Thank you again for making me Inter Continental, baby. I love it, Brett. You're the best. You promised. You delivered. A man of your word, Mr. Milletta. That's my birthday brother right there. We shared a birthday, March 2nd. I'm a little bit older than Brett, if you know what I mean. So next week, be prepared to maybe you can submit your forecasts. You want to just deal with your division. Harold, you want to do the Cubbies. Um, Clark, you want to do the Redbirds. Be my guest. Feel free, Brandon, if you want to throw the Braves in there, that's fine. But I'll do all three divisions in the National League. All right, we're at the 8:55 mark again. Shout out to all the Longwood Lion boys trying out for varsity baseball. You've got amazing coaches in that system. Absolutely amazing. We love them dearly. They are not only baseball men, but they are men of they're producing citizens of our men. That's what I want to say. The coaches at Longwood hold our kids accountable. And that's something that's lacking in not only school, society, and sports. So hats off to the coaches at Longwood High School Baseball for holding true to the values of being a good citizen. We appreciate all of Danny's loves. I am remiss. I think I mentioned this last week, but Angie was accepted to Suffolk County Community College. He's going to go there. He's going to put a hard year in and then look to transfer to Stony Brook. So big and bright things up for Angie as well. And as a matter of fact, happy Pie Day. Now this is funny, right? This is what dads do sometimes, I suppose. Today's Pie Day, 314, right? 3.14 is Pie Day. So all the pizzerias in the world are giving discounts on their pies. So one Domino's in our area, they had a special, $7.99, one topping, carry out only. So I sent Angie a little message. Of course, I sent Angie a little Venmo to go buy his dinner tonight because me and Barb are out. Barb's line dancing. I'm here at Angie's Angles. We're at day 56 mark. It's going to be hot next week. I'm going to go out on limbs with my predictions. Match me halfway. Give me yours. Send it to me PM. Throw me an email. I don't care. This has been Angie's Angles coming to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue. Good night. I love you. God bless.